Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly. And this is Special Forces, Season 4, Episode 1, Behind Enemy Lines.
So if you haven't heard the news, Kody Brown is a cast member of Special Forces this season. So we're jumping in. We're going to recap the episodes, mostly following from a Kody point of view, I suppose. It's going to be mostly revolving around that, because this isn't really a show that we would normally watch on our own accord here. The main reason we're getting involved in this, clearly, is because Kody Brown is involved.
Yeah, I think what our plan is going to be is we're going to keep doing these recaps as long as he's on the show. And then depending on how far he gets, we'll kind of decide if we want to finish it out or if we're just going to forego watching the rest of the show.
Oh, God, because now, I mean, we thought when it was first announced, maybe he would get 3 episodes in, perhaps. And now people are suspecting that based on his level of the pre-airing sort of red carpet events and things that he's been involved in, he might be a finisher this season.
He was talking about it like he got pretty far, and also like he had spent a lot of time getting to know some of the other cast members.
Well, we know it doesn't take long for Kody to make a bond.
That's true.
So
he's already a bonded pair with Johnny Manziel.
Pretty much.
Is that his name?
Sure, yeah. You can call him Johnny Football if that's
right,
easier.
Johnny Football.
There you go.
Guys, I know none of the athletes. The only one that I'm familiar with is Shawn Johnson because I am an Olympics girly.
Okay, yeah.
Professional sports, no thank you. But Olympians, that's where my sports knowledge comes from. I guess if you want to know everybody who's part of the show, you can Google it because there's 18 people and I certainly don't know them all.
I still didn't. Yeah, I mean, we're sorting stuff on the Bracketology and it's like, I'm just kind of going off vibes for the most part. And then what I can tell from the preview for next week too, as far as who we're ranking in confidence of who's going to stay.
In case you missed it, because I think we announced this on the Christine Book Club episodes, we're doing a little Bracketology app challenge where you can form your own team and then you go in there every week and rank before the episode airs who you're most confident is going to stay to who you're least confident will be here after that episode.
So it's like
it's a week by week thing.
Reality TV, fantasy sports lineup sort of thing that you get to set each week. And you can rearrange them as you see fit based on how everybody's doing.
I was pretty pleased with our performance in the first episode. We had a good read.
Spot on as far as that. I think our bottom 3 I was pretty confident in. And then there's going to be some adjustments for next week. So I'll kind of mention that a little bit casually if you agree or disagree with my mindset of the approach that I'm taking on it. We'll have to see here. But we get started off top of the episode here. They're in Morocco, Northern Africa.
So the concept of this show is that they're essentially doing like a form of basic training, right?
Like a special forces training.
So it's even more extreme.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. We're not military people. So.
Yeah.
We went to art school, and that should tell you everything that you need to know about this podcast, okay? So just so everybody's aware, we're all on the same page here. I was very happy that the introduction that we had to people in the episode was ripping bags off their heads. So like that was kind of their entry into this experience here, was to basically have their vehicle be
bombarded,
run
off
the road. Yeah, they're like being forced into 2 separate groups. They're splitting up some of the bonded pairs that are already here right out the gate.
Because we have some family members. So Shawn Johnson and her husband, Andrew East, came on together. And then Gia and Theresa Giudice came on. Was there anybody else? Or are those
I think those were the 2. And then you ended up with some new bonded pairs because then Kody and Johnny ended up in the alpha group. Finally, Kody gets to be an alpha male.
He would have been very upset if he was on the beta team, that's for sure.
Yeah, obviously. He would have taken that personally. But Man, they're already starting immediately. As soon as they pull the bag off Kody's head and his hair goes flopping out into the breeze there, and they're like, wait a minute, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 57. The guy's just like, man, shit. You're a fucking busted 57, sir. You are not doing well.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
I would have put another
any lower than
65. Yeah, I thought 65? You were retired. Mm-hmm. I thought this was just you had time to spare to do this.
I need to talk about how terrified I am of DS Rudy, the guy with the black eyes.
Like black eyes, like he had bruises under his eyes, or
no,
they're just like doll's eyes, like a shark's eyes.
His eyes are black. You didn't clock this?
No, I don't look anybody in the eye.
He was so scary.
It's a sign of aggression.
I'm a little worried that Robin's watching this at home and she's getting a little turned on because he looks like maybe he's like a Twilight character ready to feed.
He's not sparkling though, is he?
We haven't seen him in the light yet. Maybe he'll take his shirt off the next time.
You're gonna pop that shirt off.
He demonstrated rappelling out of the helicopter in this episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know who you're talking about now. Because, yeah, he kicked his legs out so straight for that, and then nobody else was able to do that. But, I mean, to be fair, I could probably watch somebody do something and then be like, oh, I'll probably do that. And then it's like, it didn't look like that.
I was a little disappointed in Sean Johnson. Like, if anybody would have been able to achieve that like perfect L shape that he had with his body, she has the ab strength.
Didn't see it.
The gymnast background.
Didn't see it on display here. They were giving Giudice a hard time about having a bad hair day when they pulled the bag off her head. They didn't really mention anything about Kody's hair. So what sort of day was Kody's hair having?
Kody's hair is so damaged. You see it in the first episode, like, maybe it's because he keeps getting wet and then dry and then wet and then dry all throughout the day.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, the curly girls out there, they know it's about to be a rough time in Morocco
Frizz.
for him.
It's not curly girl anymore. It's frizzy. Yeah. Frizzy girl.
The humidity, it's going to be a real big problem.
Oof. Yeah, no blow dry in between. It's all just air drying. Yeah.
Well, he had to leave all the hair products at home because he made sure to prioritize the mouth tape.
I guess that became top of the list. Yeah, you got to... Okay. Be very specific about what you're bringing.
Was it actually mouth tape? Because at one point later in the episode when he's sitting on the cot, his foot is all taped up with, I think it's called kinesio tape. I've had a lot of ADHD hobbies, and at one point I got really into running, and so I learned how to tape my whole body up with that stuff.
Okay.
It helps with like alleviating pressure, and like a lot of athletes use it for...
Well, he's an athlete.
Clearly.
Yeah, obviously.
But it looked like it was that he cut a piece off of it and put it over his mouth.
There could be some dual purpose tape that he has, just body tape in general. You can use it on your lip.
I wonder if he was snoring. Like, why do we think he's using mouth tape?
That would imply that he's like concerned about
the people around
him. And I do not put that at the top of the list as the reason why. It's probably a health, breathing, recovery thing for his muscles to get the nutrients back.
Okay, I did see that it can help with blood oxygen levels. So I bet you he read that somewhere.
That makes more sense, where he's like, I don't want to, I'm going to get too much, I almost said lactate in my muscles. What is it?
Lactic acid.
Lactic acid.
Or he's going to get rhabdo.
Get lactic acid build up in my muscles and I'll be too sore and stiff. I won't be able to compete.
Well, my first theory was that that's just part of his nighttime routine because Ari still co-sleeps with them and he has to make sure she doesn't drop things in there at night.
Well, I was going to say, like, it's obvious that as part of this show, they're going to wake them up in the middle of the night. They're going to make them do physical tasks. They're going to do all this stuff at very inopportune times that people aren't used to doing these things. I feel like Kody's used to this. Like, this is a regular, like, interruption of sleep cycle where it's like...
Rora has to be carried up the stairs.
Rora has to be carried up the stairs. Ari's ripping through the house at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
you have to catch her and wrangle her.
Saul needs someone to... What does he eat? What are those
Heat
things?
up the corn dogs.
The corn dogs. I was going to say a hot dog. And
no,
different. He'd eat those right out of the fridge.
Just straight up.
No reheating needed.
An entire shelf of Saul's Iron Man action figures fell down in the middle of the night. You have to put those back up now. So this is just like everyday occurrences for him.
Yeah, he's going to be okay with the sleep deprivation.
He knows. Yeah, like he knows what to expect. He can operate within that range. This is not too far out of his wheelhouse, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Okay, the headlines have already started from the first episode because everyone was, well, I guess people who weren't familiar with Sister Wives were taken aback by some of the sexist comments that they
whoa,
included.
This guy is just popping off here. Because anytime you start a sentence with, this is the first thing that Kody says on the show in his ISO interview that they cut to him for. At the risk of sounding sexist, if you start a statement like that, it's going to be bad. Whatever you're about to say, you probably just shouldn't say that.
I wasn't really shocked by this, though, because he said this on Sister Wives before about how men want to be respected and women want to be loved.
Which doesn't even make sense because it's like, well, I would assume that men want to be loved and that women want to be respected. So why are you putting binary choices on these different feelings that people can have or these experiences?
Well, the follow-up to that is, I don't care if you love me. I care if you respect me. So this is a personal statement from Kody Wynn Brown.
Yeah, and it's about him.
Also,
go figure.
What? Do you even believe that statement? Because I think there's zero chance he's not going to try to win over all of the DS.
This man is so desperate for approval. You can see it in Payton. It's the same affliction.
Just a mirror.
Yes. Well, I mean, like, yeah, it's just desperate for attention, desperate for to be accepted in any way, shape, or form.
He is kind of trying to prop himself up in the first episode like he's the cool older guy who's going to befriend the younger athletes and give them tips.
He'll be the real mentor to, guide them through this here. But instead, he's just face down in the mud.
They literally dunked him by the ponytail.
You, like, grabbed him by the hair the way that Janelle usually does. So I don't know if that was
Again,
awakening
he's
anything.
Done this at home before.
He's ready. Yeah, he's been prepared for this, at least for the first few. So they're getting beasted in the mud here. They had to strip down to their skivvies, which, again, he's already done that at Coyote Pass. He's done this at the pond.
It was reminiscent of the day at the pond.
He already has prairie dog plague. What is he going to get in Morocco with the stagnant water that's out here in the wild?
I just tell you, though, I don't think Robin has ever seen this show if she let him go on it.
He was trying to say that he didn't tell her that he was going to do this. He just agreed to do it and then just kind of went. I don't think that's how that went down. I think he told her how much money was involved and then she was like, you better go.
I'll forge your signature if you're not going to go.
Because the orders are piling up. So yeah, you better hurry up.
So the first challenge that they have is that they have to rappel out of a helicopter. And then when you land, you have to run uphill and pick up supplies and continue to run them up the hill to a checkpoint.
Right. So they're focusing in on the helicopter drop first. And again, the demo looks very easy. In practice, though, not so easy. People are struggling with it. People are afraid of heights. You have to kind of lean back and commit to the drop. It's terrifying to do that because it feels like you're falling out of a helicopter. Because you are.
Okay, that's part of it. But also where they were hovering over with the helicopter is just this rocky area. So it looks treacherous, whatever you're dropping down to.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's solid ground below them.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm just saying on the traders, a lot of times when there's a helicopter, they're falling into a lock.
Well, I mean, water's not... When you fall from that distance, though,
that
and
hurt.
You hit water, that's a solid surface that you're smacking into. So, I mean... It's not much better. Actually, water is a little bit more dangerous. If you're falling in, you break your leg. You can't swim now. So, at least if you fall on the ground, you're on the ground.
So you think too much. That's how come you wouldn't be able to do this.
Well, no, I know that this is more safe than doing it over water.
All right.
At that point. Well, the parts
Just
that
saying,
would get me...
You're pretty good at coming up with worst case scenarios of what might happen.
Yeah, and then I avoid all of the things that could do that, could lead to that. Because the part that got me, though, is when they're like, if the pilot loses control of the helicopter.
Right. They're saying shit to scare them.
And it's working. It's working. Did you see Gia's eyes, though? She was like, if it what? It's the who does what? What is happening? She was not ready to hear about the helicopter losing control.
No, this would all be working so easily on me. I got to tell you. I wonder if I could get my Xanax in. Do you think like it's medically prescribed? No, you don't think that they'd let me do that before a challenge?
I don't think so. Yeah, they're going to let you do that before they dunk you underwater.
I'm not going to take like a whole bar. So I have it's a little prescription.
Maybe if there's a doctor on set that could like give you.
Yeah, they're not going to let me just. Well, I would need. I'd have it. Have that bottle tucked in, safe.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to allow for that.
Into my vest, I'd be hanging off the side of that thing like. I think I need another hit.
I need another
half.
As Christine would say. But no, we get more wonderful commentary from Kody. To do hard things is to be good at being a man. Once in a while, you just need proof of who you are.
You know what's a hard thing? Picking up the phone and calling your kids and admitting that you were wrong. I think maybe we could have started there.
Humility's a hard thing. And that's something that I don't see a lot of men doing nowadays. So like, maybe let's try that on.
Yeah. This just sounded like a win quote to me. Like this came straight out of his father's mouth on the farm.
This was from the ranch. Yeah. Up in Wyoming there. He didn't do bad at rappelling out of the helicopter,
okay, that
which
was
is frustrating.
The annoying part.
That's frustrating.
He dropped pretty straight, like in a straight line.
It was like a good speed, controlled descent. He was cracking jokes as soon as he landed, though, where he was like, well, knowing when to stop is the trick.
See, that's where I'm saying he's going to get himself in trouble because he can't stop talking.
This is where you need to carry over some advice, Kody, where it was don't make jokes with Oprah. Don't make jokes with the staff on Special Forces either. This is not a comedy tour.
What would you get in trouble for?
I would
get on the show.
It would be the stupid remarks. Of course I would be saying
You would be like him?
Well, and or Theresa, when they were mocking her and making fun of her, and then she was like, well, that's not very nice. And then it's like, yeah, you don't get to say that to them because it's like, that's kind of what you're here for.
It's your internal monologue. You don't say it out loud.
Yeah, but it was like, oh, and I think she realized in that moment too, she's like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And it's like, yeah, don't let those inside thoughts come out.
I'd get in trouble for maniacally laughing at myself.
Oh.
Like when I dropped down at the end, I would have known it was pathetic. It was the worst attempt of everybody who tried to get out of the helicopter. And I would be giggling at myself at the end because I know it was bad.
It was real bad. All of these are bad, but like you don't get asked to leave. Well, I don't think you can be like forced to leave.
No, they can tell you.
Oh, they can. Okay.
Yeah.
If you like really suck at just everything.
I think it's more so if they feel like you're not really giving it an effort or if you're doing something dangerous.
Okay. But
because they want to keep people on the show, right? Yeah. For entertainment value.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like if you're laughing at yourself because you're not doing well, you're not doing well.
Yeah.
Would they keep you around though? Because then it's like, you think I'm not taking it seriously?
I look like I'm having too good of a time.
I'm having too much fun, I guess. Is that the problem? I don't want it to be like that.
I just think I'd be like having to do a lot of burpees.
Yeah. Basically what would happen is they would just physically torture me until I no longer have the energy to fight back.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of irrelevant because I am Brittany Cartwright in this episode.
You got your hand stuck on the helicopter there?
Well, she knows she's having to do things that she already hates. She's afraid of helicopters and she's afraid of heights. And she mentioned that like when she goes into a hotel up on a high balcony that she's plastered against the wall as far away from the balcony railing as possible because she doesn't want to look over. And that's me.
Yeah.
I would have been stuck to the side of the helicopter as far away from the door as possible.
I don't know. It's like the older I get, the more tentative I become with things like that.
A little more hesitant?
Yeah. Like I think it was like I used to do heights and roller coasters and like all sorts of stuff. And I was cool with all of that. And then
it's because I've been keeping you grounded because I'm not going up anywhere.
Or like, and we did it was like the time where I really noticed it was, I mean, early 20s when we did what was it called? It's the Skybox. The Skybox at the Sears Tower. Well, Willis Tower, whatever you want to call it.
The Sears Tower.
It probably got bought out again, something, naming rights. But yeah, where I kept putting one foot into the glass box, and then I was like, okay, I'll keep the other one inside, though. Like, one staying in the building. And then it was like, no, once I got out there, then it was like, okay. But to bring that second foot on was like a real mental task.
Well, that's because you're looking at the ground below.
Well, that
and
too.
Things are moving. It's really scary.
It's pretty tall. It's very high up. And then there is no safety structure. I'm not harnessed in on anything. So those are the types of things where like I feel better about it. Like if I have a rope and if I'm rappelling and I'm strapped in on something, I feel better than if I'm just hanging halfway out of a helicopter. That's terrifying.
They were strapped in.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like I think I would be okay
to do that
part. Like that would be a better way for me to wrap my mind around it.
I don't know. Who am I? I can't even get up the fourth rung of a ladder.
Yeah, you get a little shaky.
My legs start to go numb.
The step ladder. Yeah.
That would have been my problem. I would have went to land and my legs would have collapsed out from under me because they would have gone completely numb.
So now they've all rappelled out of the helicopter. It's time to go down to the village. They have to move heavy objects. There's 800 pounds of stuff that you have to move uphill. I thought this was bullshit, though, because Team Alpha and Team Bravo have different items.
I'm sorry, was it
moving.
Bravo? Because I said Beta before.
Oh, if Kody was on it, it would be Beta. But I got confused, too, because when they first said, oh, Team Bravo, and I was like, oh, because it's the people from Bravo. It's from Housewives?
That's how you know you watch too much reality TV.
That was when I knew. I was like, no, this isn't the traitors. Like, I was thinking that it was like the Bravo block of people. No, it's Alpha and Bravo. Okay. But I didn't think it was fair that they had to carry different things. So the weight was the same, but like Team Alpha had like bags that they were throwing over their shoulder, and Bravo had to take, it was drums of
It was like
stuff.
A gasoline drum almost,
and like
right?
jerry cans. Yeah, which that's like, you have to hold that in your hand. You can't throw that over your shoulder as easily. So that seemed like
I felt like there should have been a better distribution of items
or like
across both teams.
Yeah, like mix and match where it was like, yeah, you both have a drum, a couple jerry cans, and some bags, like to mix it up that way. But it just seemed like a little bit off. Because then Team Alpha wins. Kody and his team gets all their bags up there quicker. Yeah. Again, something that Cody's excelling at, which was kind of annoying.
Well, no thanks to Johnny Football.
Well, Johnny Football's struggling. We did get to see some of Cody's titty sweat on display, though.
Yeah, so he starts to sweat underneath the pec. Are we being generous enough to call it a pec?
A pec? Right above the six-pack
You know where
ab.
it is? Yeah, so there are no six-pack abs anymore, and that's very apparent in the shirt that he's wearing. So I think it's a little, a little belly fat. It's like women, when you start to get the under boob sweat in your bra, that's what he's suffering from.
That's what's going on. Kody provides more insight for us here. He's doing all of this. He's joined the show to prove to his kids he can still do the impossible. And also to keep the old man out, is what he said.
Oh, I missed that part.
So he's trying to cling to the folly of youth and then to show his kids he can do impossible things. I think there's other impossible things that they're aware of that Kody cannot do, like apologize or admit he was wrong or he made a mistake.
I want to know how many of the kids didn't even know that he was coming on the show until the promo came out.
Yeah, he doesn't talk to them. He doesn't stay in touch, doesn't keep in touch.
How many of them were at home giggling on the couch watching this?
I know Gabe was talking about he might try to do a watch party or a watch along type of thing. I don't know if he
does it. I hope that it comes to fruition.
Does. Yeah, we'll have to check around and see if that came to fruition here.
But I think everybody popped a really big bowl of popcorn last night and they turned on Fox and they just cackled.
There was something healing about seeing someone grab Kody by the hair and dunk his face in the mud. Like that. There was.
This is family healing.
Yeah, there is something in that. Something important there. But Johnny Football is struggling. QBs are soft. This is established. This is what's happening. Kody is rooting him on. Hang in there, Johnny. I got your back. He's grabbing more bags of the stuff and he's moving it around. He's letting Johnny lean on him after the challenge. The drill instructors are yelling at him, telling him to stand up like a man.
I think that Kody was on a high as soon as they said that his team won.
Well,
because that's when he really starts running his mouth.
Kody interrupts them while they're commending his
like,
team.
Thanks. And then he turns to Johnny and tells him,
"Here, Johnny, make sure you're taking deep breaths right out of your belly, okay?"
He's a pro at that.
He's
used to having to deal with people hyperventilating in his household.
He's using the Lamaze skills that he's learned to several pregnancies that he has coached women through. So he's just treating Johnny like his bride-to-be, his blushing bride who's giving birth to his firstborn son here. But for them to turn around to Kody and then yell, "Shut the fuck up," that was a special moment for me too. Very important.
I don't think he's going to learn. This is going to keep happening.
Yeah, like for Theresa, it took one time for her to go, I don't think I'm going to say that again. And then Kody still seems to find himself in these scenarios where he has to chime in.
I'm going to point out something that I feel like is sexist. The DS are very focused on Theresa and talking about how she's ditzy and she doesn't know what she's doing and making her clean the toilets and just giving her generally a hard time. And she hasn't done anything more annoying than Kody has. No,
she's like hanging tough too. I mean, she didn't do great rappelling out of the helicopter, but she was still carrying stuff up the hill. And I mean, she did all those other things. Was she on Bravo team?
Yeah, right.
She got split up?
Because Gia's on the same team as Kody.
I think so. So that was interesting then too, because then the punishment for Bravo team losing was they had to run back to the barracks. So then that's where we have Brittany, who's already struggling here, not doing so great. Doesn't look like she's going to make it, and she definitely quits on the run to the barracks. She didn't even get there.
Look, this looks really fucking hard, and I don't want to do it at any point in my life. But when she gave up, I felt like she was not really at a point of exhaustion that I thought that she couldn't keep going.
Right. Yeah, like this was a self-fulfilling prophecy, because then that's what she was kind of complaining about as she was quitting. I knew I was going to be the first one to go home. Then your biggest thing, you should have been like, there's no fucking way I'm going to be the first one to go. But as soon as somebody else quits, I'm going to quit. Like, that's fine.
I just don't want to technically be the first to go.
I'm not going to be the first one, though. So, like, you could have made that a promise to yourself in that way.
She was, like, having a whole conversation about whether or not she was going to go. I felt like if you were able to do that, then you're not that tired that you can't run back to camp. You just don't want to.
She just doesn't feel like it.
Which I don't blame you, because
No, I wouldn't want to either.
No, and
I still don't.
Gia said that they sent them to a 5-star resort when they first got there, and that's where they took like photos and they did some interviews and some training before they got to camp. I would have been like, take me back there. I don't want to sleep on the cot tonight after all of this.
Yeah, I'm not.
Is that where I'm going to be sequestered?
Well, she was like hemming and hawing over it too. Like she couldn't even decide that like, hey, I'm done.
Yeah.
She was just like complaining. And
well,
so then they were like, are you going to do it?
More of the mental aspect, right? Because there's a difference between the mental and the physical. And maybe mentally she was like, I'm out.
I think that was the bigger part here. Yeah. It was like, you don't want to do this. You don't feel like doing this. So are you going to push through and do it? Or are you going to quit? Because you can't just continue moseying back to the barracks at this point.
Well, beyond feeling like you don't want to do it, mentally thinking you can't.
Yeah.
And still following through with it and doing it.
Yeah.
Some of these people have never done CrossFit, and it shows.
It shows, yeah. I don't know if Johnny has, but Kody's still leading him through the breathing exercises in the car, because they get to ride back to the barracks because they won the challenge there.
This reminded me of the Traders when they all ride back in the car together, and then they have all the little side conversations.
Yeah, a little bit. But it was, instead it was just Kody in Johnny's face the whole time being like, get a few pants in. Focus on your breathing. Or something special.
What was the or something special? That's where I think you're right. That he's using his many experiences with home births.
Yeah.
Just focus on something special. And
Find your happy
Johnny,
place.
you're going to have to be quiet. We're having a quiet birth. Silent birth.
That must be it. It needs to be a calm, peaceful transition for the baby.
I was actually really worried for Johnny when he was complaining about like all the different spots that he was in pain in when he was trying to
He like
breathe.
couldn't breathe. Yeah, he had like several stitches that were happening there, is what it seemed like, or like
Yeah.
cramping or something.
It's like, at what point do they bring in someone to medically check you out?
I don't know. Yeah, but like this is where Kody's then apologizing for if he was breaking Johnny's concentration or anything. I didn't mean to disturb you, even though you're struggling. I was just trying to help you out here because you know how I love quarterbacks.
You met him like what do you mean?
I don't think, how would he know that?
It's been 5 hours.
You've told him how much you love quarterbacks in this amount of time?
It's weird.
Like, why? Why would he know that?
I don't know.
And why do we need to know that?
Also, this show is not, I mean, they're on a team, right? But it's really an individual challenge. So you don't really need to be pairing yourself up with another person.
No, you don't. At all, actually. So this is all very
Poor
weird.
Johnny, man. Kody just latched onto him day one. I don't think he's going to shake him off. He's probably like hoping that Kody gets injured so that
something
or that
happens.
something takes him out. That's why
Yeah.
he's having such a hard time breathing.
I'm ready to go. Yeah, I'm going to have to tap myself out because I can't stand Kody trying to guide me through this process anymore. This is where we end up on the parade square back at the barracks, and Theresa gets potty detail.
Again, Theresa has been to prison.
Yes. So, I mean, this isn't as humiliating for her as
I mean, it was a
think.
federal prison, but still, she's been to prison. I don't think, yes, right? They're trying to make her snap.
Yeah.
They think she's going to flip a table. I really think that's the moment that they want from her.
Exactly. But instead, she's walking into the barracks announcing to everyone, if anyone goes poopies, you please tell me and I'll clean it real good, okay? Don't anybody be shy about the poo-poos. If you're doing number twos, I need to make sure I scrub them.
Also, this woman has raised 4 children.
Yeah.
She's cleaned a lot of shit in her life.
For real.
She's okay. You know who they should have assigned this to was Jussie.
Jussie
Smollett.
Well, and Jussie's
who's
an
making
idiot.
it clear that he will not do it if they ask him to.
He's so dumb. You're wearing
I'm sorry,
a mic.
not ask, tell him
No.
to.
They're going to tell him to because you just said into your microphone, sir. Production is here. They're going to tell the guys. They're going to be like, guess who just said they're never going to clean a toilet? Jussie Smollett. So why don't you go ahead and assign him the next one?
I got to tell you, if he came on this show to try to change people's perception of him, the first episode already, it's going really bad. And he seems like he's going to tap himself out.
Yeah, like very soon. He's on my watch list for next one. He's going to be dropping lower in my confidence pool on Bracketology for sure. Do you think that Kody's accomplishing what he's setting out to do? Like, he's not changing anyone's opinion. If anything, he's digging in his heels on being a sexist, misogynist pig.
Yeah, no, I'm very quickly becoming convinced that that's not why he came here.
Yeah.
I think he really did do this for himself to boost his own ego.
So the weird part was when Kody and Jussie then talk to each other and kind of realize who each other are. Not really, though. I don't think Jussie knew who Kody was. And then I don't think
no one here knows who Kody
nobody
is.
knows who Kody is. And then Kody didn't know, but then Jussie thought that Kody knew who he was after he said his full name. So he was like, oh boy, here we go. And it was like, I bet you $20. Kody still has zero clue on who you are.
He is going to call him Jesse the entire season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does not know who you are. He does not know why you're here. It doesn't matter.
Unless they made a dolly of you, he is not familiar.
It doesn't matter.
But now he's all paranoid. Like, you came on a show with other people who are in the entertainment space, and you're afraid that when you introduce yourself to them, that they're going to figure out who you are.
I thought it was just going to be first names only.
Your name is
know.
Jussie.
I didn't know it was going to be first and last names, that we were going to like introduce ourselves to each other. I didn't want to like talk to people in the barracks. That wasn't really what I was here for.
Okay, maybe this is actually a good point, because everyone thought that Kody was coming on the show because maybe like a PR person told him that he should do it to repair his image. I actually think that's why Jussie is here.
Yeah.
And that this is totally against his will and he does not want to be here.
He does not want to be here. Clearly, he does not want to be here.
Kody did mumble to himself as he was pulling his socks up after, something about second chances. But I really think he was talking to himself.
I think he was talking about his own second chances because everything's about Kody, you guys. He's not talking about anything with what this means for Jussie's appearance in public perception. He doesn't care about that. The man is not thinking about that. He's worried about where his next roll of tape is going to come from.
I also think it might have been Gia who said that he brought a lot of supplements with him. Or it was Brianna Chicken Fry. One of them did an interview and said that he had a lot of stuff that he brought with him.
Things, and don't we know it? We've seen that countertop at the She-Ra Chateau. Don't you forget it. So this is the part of the episode where they pull Johnny Football in for interrogation because they have to pick somebody. I am really waiting for the Kody interrogation that will be set to have. I hope they do one soon because, man, just going through the conversation with Johnny Football of realizing he was such a huge success, he kind of cashed in on that. Then he got washed up by the time he was 23. He got cut from his professional team and stuff like that. The Browns, by the way.
He has a lot of regret about how he handled things, which is going to be the key differentiator between him and Kody.
There's a self-awareness, a level of self-awareness that Johnny has, and he's honest about it too, of I think that's an accurate way of describing it. He can kind of summarize.
He's not getting offended by the things they're saying to him.
Right. It's not an accusation. It's agreement of, that is very much what was going on in that moment and what was experienced there. But I feel like Cody's going to walk in to his interrogation when he does eventually have one. He's going to be like, oh, hey, guys. Funny seeing you here.
He's going to think it's social hour to befriend the DS.
He's going to chop it up with these guys. He's going to try to make friends with them, and they're just going to go so much harder on him. So the sooner the better on a Kody interrogation. I hope it happens.
What do you think he's going to focus on, or they're going to focus on talking to him about when he's in there? Because that's been something people have been wondering about. Are they going to bring up talking about losing his son? Are they going to talk about the fact that he's an ex-polygamist and he's had 3 failed marriages?
I mean, I feel like that they should have gone on Reddit and been like, hey, what can we say to upset Kody Brown? And then it's we'll give you plenty of reasons to poke and prod at.
I know I've seen a clip where he has to explain to everyone there who he is because, of course, there's 2 people who know who he is out of 18 of them.
Yeah.
And he says that he's an ex-polygamist and that he has 3 ex-wives. So they
all left and I'm not doing that again.
I think that's basically what he said. So that's probably what they're going to talk to him about.
His identity as a polygamist man, ex-polygamist man.
I hope not. I was just being a failure. That's all you have to talk to him about.
That's all you got to ask. Hey, how'd that go? How those 3 divorces going? He'll get upset.
I'm just interested to see what these producers, because again, this is a new group of people not related to Sister Wives, what they come at him with to try to get him upset.
Well, I don't like that this is the part of the experience that's heralded as therapy replacement, according to the staff, where they were telling Johnny Football, oh, every day that you're here, it's going to be a new version of yourself that you get introduced to, that you come to an understanding with, and it's the best therapy you can have. No, please go to therapy. Please do the work that you need to be doing in addition to this, because just putting yourself through physical torment is not therapy. It can feel therapeutic for some things if you feel like you need to be punished and atone for all your wrongdoing, and that's how you're going to be able to move on through things, because I think that's how Kody's seeing it.
I agree. That's how he talked a lot about after Garrison's, I think it was during his burial, right? When he was digging his grave, that he was talking about physical work being a form of atonement.
Yeah.
So we already know he has that mindset. But it's how is he going to do with the mental aspect of this? Because he certainly didn't deal very well with managing 4 different relationships, especially when some of them weren't going very well.
He doesn't take criticism very well.
Yeah, he's quick to drop out when people try to hold him accountable.
Well, he punishes them by removing himself.
Can't do that here.
Oh, well, I mean, he can.
You're going to punish the DS?
But then that's
they don't give a shit.
I know, they don't care. So now that makes him want to stay even more. So I think he has the drive. He has the drive now. Jussie, on the other hand, he's losing the mental battle. He's not doing so good. He's already questioning, like, why? Why am I doing this? And then even the Giudices, they're bonding over their barracks on the cot. And Theresa's like, I already would have left. But then I was thinking about, oh, no, I got to stay for Gia. So it's like they're the only reason why they're staying. So if one of them goes, they're both going.
That's interesting. That's something to think about as you're filling out your brackets.
Yeah, that's only a matter of time, right?
Well, if you thought you were going to get a peaceful night's sleep, you were very wrong.
They are waking everyone up to run them ragged tonight. You thought it was over. We're just getting started. Kody's mouth tape is on full display. He's trying to tie his shoes and he's getting yelled at. Like, don't worry about your shoes right now. Do your burpees. Terrible form on the burpees. I don't know who has worse form. Is it Kody's burpees or is it Ethan Plath's push-ups?
You know, I got to say it's Ethan Plath's push-ups.
I think the push-ups were worse.
Yeah.
I mean, the burpees are bad.
I don't want to give another win to Kody, but it wasn't the worst burpee that I've seen.
They looked weird.
Especially if your shoe was unlaced.
Yeah, I mean, burpees are not a natural thing that anybody should be doing anyway, so.
It's not a natural way to move your body.
No.
That's kind of where we leave them, right? They're just...
The staff is taunting them on, you received your paycheck, so who's ready to leave next? Because we're already down one, and so it's just kind of like the final taunt for this episode of who's going to stick around. But next episode looked pretty brutal. It looks like we're getting right into it with the challenges and stuff.
Yeah, there was like, they're physically fighting each other, punching one another.
Yeah, it looked like Chicken Fry broke Sean Johnson's nose.
Or really hurt her.
Busted her up. And then Eva looks like she almost like drowns, basically. And then Jussie was looking like he was ready to drop out.
I gotta tell you, I don't really like this show. I don't like watching people get screamed at. The competitions are like somewhat interesting to watch, but I feel like you get them incorporated into a lot of other types of shows. You know, like even The Traitors has physical challenges.
Kind of, yeah. Or The Challenge. MTV's The Challenge.
And the narration really irks me because it feels like it's an Animal Planet special.
It does a little bit, right?
Like, is that just me?
Kody Brown gets punched in the face. Oh, he gets decked a couple of times next week. So I am ready for that. That's a thing of beauty. There is healing in this.
For us.
For the Sister Wives fans. There's some justice here that we get to experience, finally, of people yelling at Kody, telling him to shut the fuck up, dunking his face in the mud and the dirt and the water, punching him in the face. Like, there are some outlets here, I think, and it's kind of nice to see that.
Well, if you guys want to watch along with us, we're holding watch parties over on our Patreon Discord on Thursday nights at 9 when the show is on. So you can go over there to check that out. And then we'll be dropping our weekly recaps here on Saturdays.
And if you're looking for them a day early and ad-free, that's also available on the Patreon as well. Patreon.com/survivingpod.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.